Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I struggled saying that today. All right, well, we're back. With me, like always, is Elijah, and we got Greg with me also. And how are you guys doing? Everybody doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing really good.
Awesome. Well, we got some fun things going on. One thing I do want to plug really fast is we now have our own website full of a lot of Orioles news and just MLB news in general. If you want to follow, we're putting some few things from the World Baseball Classic on there also. That is utahstreetbanter.com. You can also catch all of our podcasts and all of our shows right there on the website. But like always, we're also on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But yeah, that's our little plug. Let's get started. Baseball is back. Let's go. So we got the World Baseball Classic that starts the first week of March, I think March 6th. But more importantly, more hometown related, the Orioles are in Sarasota getting ready for spring training. And we're excited. We hope that you're excited. It feels just like last year. First thing we got is injuries. We'll talk about that later. So, it's like we never left, But yeah, so anyway, we got that, and then more, more fun stuff with the World Baseball Classic. Like I said, I'm really excited about that. I got my U.S. hat on, mainly for the Olympics right now, but also for the World Baseball Classic. And yeah, I'm excited. How about you, Elijah?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm also excited to be able to watch some spring training games. They're being broadcast. 20 games are being aired on MASN, which is more than normal. I mean, first game February 20th, this Friday, against the Yankees. And, I mean, let's be honest, you'll see 2 innings of Gunnar Henderson and then 7 innings of the random double-air. But still, it's real fun. It's baseball. That's all that matters. And then looking forward to March 3rd, the U.S. will play the Netherlands team in a little exhibition match, which I am disappointed in the MLB. They're not airing any games between the Major League clubs and these international teams, which is kind of disappointing. But, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Madison's airing 20 games, and I believe last year, don't hold me to this, I know it's 20 games for a fact, but I think last year was like 10, maybe?
I know, yeah, and I mean, we had the one game that was like the spring breakout game against, like there's the annual spring breakout game that you get that's like on MLB, but other than that, couldn't find much of it.
Yeah, no, super exciting. Thank goodness the Nationals are gone, I guess, because we get all the attention. Now, so like I said, there was a, just talking about the spring real fast, the non-roster invitees, really, everybody that you would think is there. One of my favorites is Enrique Bradfield Jr. I can't wait to see him. So we'll see. Like I said, make sure you tune into that. Please try to support spring training so that way they keep doing it. Some fun stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so World Baseball Classic is happening. Baseball's back, and more controversy as it comes. Next year we probably won't be talking like this. So, what do you got on the whole Tony Clark situation?
So, obviously, everyone knows. If you're listening to this podcast, we're not going to play baseball in 2027 because of the lockout. The union and the MLB, they're going to fight. They're gonna fight, and no one's gonna want to budge. The union's not gonna want a salary cap. The MLB is already come out and said that they're fighting for a salary cap. Rob Manfred's already said that that's what they want this time around for the CBA, and we're just not gonna play. It's gonna be another situation like happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
Luckily this time, like the one thing for this time, I guess you could say, is I think social media might play into this a lot because it's going to be able to be so much more publicized and the players will have a much larger voice than they did before. But at the end of the day, it's a union versus a workforce, and it's going to be great. But what's come out of this recently is that Tony Clark, the former executive of the MLB Players Association, has resigned. And there was some bunch of different stuff that came up for the reason. It seems like he had a relationship with a sister-in-law that was hired to work for the Players Association a couple years ago. That's a whole separate thing, though. He's gone.
Would you say that's frowned upon?
Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of people. A lot of people were asking the really important question, though. Was it brother's wife, or was it your sibling or your sister? Your wife's sister.
It was his wife's sister.
Wife's sister. Okay.
Yeah.
Brutal either way.
Oof. So he screwed. So what you're saying is he got the ugly one the first time, and he was trying to make an adjustment.
Oh, well, either way,
Didn't say nothing.
career and home life are gone.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
The former MLB player is out, and they just elected Bruce Mayer. He was the second in command for the Players Association, the lead negotiator. So I don't think they're going to be too worried going into the agreements. I'm sure he's interim, so I would have to imagine that they're going to find someone else to fill those shoes. I say go get Adam Wainwright to be the lead executive or something like that. I don't know, but I just know he's involved in that. New Oriole that we'll talk about later, Chris Bassett. He's also a big guy in the Players Association. So he had some quotes coming out about this, how everything was kind of, all the players were caught off guard by this. And it's kind of just a hot mess.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it would be frowned upon if you said, "Yeah, I knew he was, in a relationship with his
that
sister
wouldn't
the
be,
whole time."
that wouldn't be great. But good news for us, we're not Phillies fans because the Phillies are going through it right now. On different fronts. So mainly, Bryce Harper's not happy with David Dombrowski and the ownership and management and all of that because over the offseason, they just came out and said that he's not elite and he's not a great player, basically. And normally, you would think you wouldn't want to say that about, your best player. But who cares when you're billing it, right? Like, why does that matter? So he's not happy about that. He's kind of Bryce Harper. I don't know. Do you guys keep up with Bryce Harper during the offseason? He's
no. I mean, he usually does like cooking videos and stuff.
yeah, he does. So like last offseason, he started doing like banana breads and coffee, and then like this season, he did like a full body blood transfusion, where like he withdrew all of his blood through this machine and like purified it, had it come back in. He's like all over the place now. I will say I'm rocking with the mustache that he had. But he's an interesting one. But him and the ownership are fighting. And that also plays into someone that they just released who recently signed with the Padres, Nick Castellanos, and his just complete fallout with the ownership. They told him not to even show up to spring training, even though he was on the roster, because he was either going to get traded or released. And obviously, he was sought after enough after being on the market for a day, got signed by the Padres. And it seems like a lot of this sprung from having a beer in the dugout after getting taken out of the game, which, I definitely understand why that's kind of frowned upon. You are at work, you probably shouldn't be drinking on the job. But you don't know what a clubhouse is like. I mean, I saw an interview.
You don't know what a clubhouse is like.
I saw an interview with Kyle Schwarber talking about it, and he kind of hinted at Castellanos being a distraction to the team. It's like you don't really know what else was going on. But then at the same time, there were rumors that JT Realmuto was standing off to the side of the field during batting practice in the playoffs because Castellanos was out there with his son Liam taking batting practice. And like there's stuff like that I don't necessarily believe because just many things. I don't really think that Castellanos is such a terrible teammate that he wasn't even going to let his teammates that, were playing in a playoff game not hit on the field. It's a whole kerfuffle is what I'll say.
Kerfuffle.
But he's gone. He's on the Padres now. So it's not to worry for the Phillies. I mean, granted, he did have a rough season last year. So I don't think the Phillies fans are too upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
He
mean,
seems like a great guy, though.
He seems like a what?
A great guy.
Castellanos?
I mean, he put out a 5-page letter on the social media to the fans after he was released.
I mean, because he doesn't want to die. It's Philadelphia.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
I mean, yeah, he's trying to.
I think he did end the letter I think he did end the letter by saying "grease the poles."
Did he? Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. Greg, you have anything on Castellanos?
I think he was a very solid player for many years. He slipped some last year. He's been slipping the last couple of years. But if it was Bryce Harper and he had a beer in the clubhouse, there probably wouldn't be as much of a big deal. But from what he got taken out, was mad, went to the clubhouse, got a beer, came back. His teammates took the beer away. Before he drank it.
Mm-hmm.
He sat down and I guess gave the manager a earful. Had to be escorted out. Him and the GM and the manager had a discussion after the game. He was suspended the next game. So, if you look at the Phillies towards the end of the last year, they started to fall apart. They were really hot early. I think, he had mentioned something about the rules in the clubhouse and in the dugout. How you can't have two different sets of rules for players and things. So I think there was a lot going on there near the end of the season for the Phillies.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, Elijah.
I was just gonna say I really do. I think this just does shine a bigger light on the Phillies' problems as a whole. I really think there's a large disconnect there between the ownership and management and the players. And I know after this all season they really didn't make any moves. They might miss the playoffs this year. It's going to be rough, I think, for the Phillies this season.
Yeah, we shall see. But that's not our problem. Drunks in the
No.
pond. That's you guys. We call it all the time. Have fun with that. Yeah, let's move on. So let's get to some fun stuff with our Orioles.
Yes,
Elijah, you have a fun little segment I'm looking at. So
I do. So I titled this Happy Holidays because, it's not Christmas, but we still have holidays to celebrate. This past week, we had Valentine's Day last weekend, President's Day this past week, and there's a whole bunch of holidays to celebrate. And you want to know who we have on the Orioles? We have Jackson Holiday. And so we're going to have some fun with some of this. And then when we talk about Jackson Holiday, it won't be fun anymore. But we'll get there in a few seconds. So speaking of Valentine's Day, love's in the air with Valentine's Day, right? It's flowers, candy, all that stuff. And there's the famous quote, how could you not be romantic about baseball? So I just want to hear from you guys, what's one moment of just baseball that makes you think of that quote? What's one thing of either Orioles baseball or just baseball in general that makes you think that baseball's romantic?
All right, so I'll go first here. I have two, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine.
My first one is one of the most romantic moments at a baseball game. Is I was sitting at the foul pole. We used to sit at all the time, right, Elijah? We sit right on the left field foul pole. And I saw a guy taking his boots off right next to me. And I went, man, he must be getting hot because he's taking his boots off. And then he took his jeans off. And that got weird. But, he kind of had shorts on. And then the next thing I know.
I think they were just boxers, Cody.
Want to say boxers? Next thing I know, he jumped over the fence and got absolutely leveled by this security guard before he got to the foul line.
Yeah. And if you can't tell, this is before nets were installed.
Yeah, that's
all around the entire field.
If you're going to run on the field, you better make it past the line.
I remember
that was embarrassing.
I do remember that game because I remember that the boots and the jeans sat next to a seat for quite a while.
Yeah, I was just I guess he didn't have a plan for that.
No.
Or maybe his buddies didn't want to get in trouble too.
They didn't want to claim.
Yeah. Okay, now my real one. I have a recent one. It was one of my favorite games I've ever been to, and I did not expect that to happen in the 2025 season. And that is a no-hitter going into the bottom of the ninth inning with 2 outs. And I'm sitting pretty much behind home plate in the club level there. And Jackson Holiday with, I don't remember. He had 2 strikes. I had my camera out to film the no-hitter by Yamamoto. And I ended up filming a home run by Jackson Holiday, which fits perfectly into your segment. I didn't even know that until I just said that. But probably one of my favorite, and it was the Cal Ripken 2131 celebration. So all of my favorite players, Ken Griffey Jr. was there. All my favorite players from back in the day was there. BJ Surhoff was there. So, yeah, that's mine. What do you got? Either one.
There, Greg, you go first.
I go back to when the Cubs won the World Series.
Yeah.
That game, they had the stoppage. They come back out, and Jason Hayward, who I wasn't a big fan of, but I guess he was a big clubhouse guy. He got the team rallied. They came out. They ended up winning in the 9th. That was awesome. As a Cubs fan, that was awesome. So
I remember staying up late that night watching that game. Yeah.
I remember, I think if you want to have a picture that just summarizes a great baseball moment, take the picture of Anthony Rizzo right after he caught the ball, both hands in the air, screaming, hang that up in a museum.
Yeah.
And I also remember going to school the next day because one of my teachers was a Indians fan at the time, and just asking, hey, how was the game last night? I know for me, I also have two. One, for a moment, I was in the stands for, one I wasn't. I'll start with the one that I was actually at Camden Yards. It was the day that we clinched the playoffs in 2023. It was against the Red Sox. I remember I was at that game, and it was crazy because normally, like, it was just a great game overall. And then the moment that really gets you is normally after a game's over, it's a mad dash to leave the stadium. Everyone's out. That's the first time I remember a game that no one left. Everyone stayed in the crowd. Like, everyone was still celebrating. It was a huge moment, obviously. And it was a really cool moment to be a part of. And then the other one, I remember, it was Adley Rutschman, his first MLB hit. I don't know if you're aware of this. He had a triple for his first hit. And then, do you know why that's significant? Because basically, our two top prospects before Adley Rutschman had also hit triples for their first hit. Both Matt Wieters and Manny Machado, their first career hits were triples.
Wow.
And so all three of them, yeah. I just thought, I remember when that happened. That was really cool.
Yeah. You know, another cool one, not to just keep going, was the year before. Was it what year did you go to, Elijah, that you just said the Orioles game?
23.
Where they, what year was it where we walked off the Red Sox and knocked them out of the playoffs?
That was
the year before we went to the playoffs.
That was
2013.
Yeah, I think it was 2013.
That was pretty awesome because that's when you felt like because you could feel 1 year bleed into the next year.
You know what? That might have been 2011, actually.
It might be, yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's the year before we made the playoffs for the first time with the whole that crew. So it might have been 2011, but yeah, I'll never forget that one either because you're like, man, this team might be something, you know. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So,
yeah. But moving on through our holiday festivities, moving into President's Day. And so this is just a question that both of you could try to answer. Which presidents have thrown out the first pitch? At an Orioles game.
Oh, at an Orioles. Oh, man. At an Orioles game?
Yeah.
George Bush.
Which one?
W. Bush.
W.
HW.
W.
Yeah.
Yeah, HW. So he threw the first pitch to start off the 1989 season at Memorial Stadium, and then he threw the first ever pitch at Camden Yards. Opening day, 1992.
Wow. Is he the only one?
No, so Ronald Reagan also did it in 84.
I thought Reagan did.
And then Bill Clinton did it in 93, 96. So, and then I was like, that's actually surprising how many did, but it's also because prior to the Nationals coming, there was no team. Mm-hmm. We were the closest team to DC.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden also threw one in 2009, but as vice president.
Gotcha.
And then this is just a fun question. What Oriole would make a good president?
What Oriole would make a good president? Man. Oh, that's let's see. So, I'm going to say, it says have to be an Oriole like that's still playing. Right,
I mean, I guess you could do a former Oriole if you'd like.
A former Oriole would be Adam Jones, in my opinion, just because like he just acts like he's a diplomat. I don't know.
Very charismatic.
Yeah, just
like a lot of charisma. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Orioles that are on the team now seem like they're hilarious, and I don't know Kyle Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg, what do you think?
He's the only one that I would take seriously.
I'm gonna go former Oriole, Billy Ripken.
Billy Ripken. Okay.
Okay.
He's good on TV.
Yeah.
He is good on TV.
I was going to say Jordan Westburg because he always seems like he's the most serious out of anyone. Honestly, like I came up with that question and I started thinking about it. I don't know if I would vote for anyone on the Orioles.
He would be in the hospital a lot.
It's a sitting down position, so he can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have to
if
quotes at the White House.
Westbrook.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he might trip up some stairs or something too.
Yeah, that's true.
Man. So jumping right into that really quick. Obviously, the Orioles are going through a bit of an injury stretch over the past 3 years. So this is fun. So Westbrook is hurt again. Which they're not. I wrote an article on this this past week, and so the problem with it is it's an oblique strain again, and just like it was last year, he says he did everything right that he thought, and it's still an issue. Which the Orioles are downplaying it quite a bit, saying he'll be fine for opening day. But I mean, last year like I said, last year the oblique was an issue at the beginning of the year, and then he had an issue I think with his hand and a few other things. So, it's one of those things where Jordan Westbrook to me is a key part of this Orioles team, and that's a massive loss. And then the other one obviously is Jackson Holiday. Jackson Holiday broke a little piece of the bottom of his hand. I'm forgetting what that bone is called. The hamate bone.
Hamate.
Thank you. And he did have successful surgery, so that's great. There is the smallest chance in the world that he could be ready by opening day. But as with the Orioles traded for Blaze Alexander in the past few weeks, I think they'll probably play it smart, and they know how last year went, and they're just going to let it heal real quick, get some at bats down in Florida because it'll still be spring training down there. Because the hamate bone, the problem with it's actually on his right hand, which is the hand that's on the knob of the bat, and apparently it rubs up against that. And I believe, don't hold me to this, folks, look it up. I think they actually removed part of the bone that's the issue, because it's like a hook in your wrist.
Yeah, and I know the main problem with the hamate is it really affects your power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it was, I heard AJ Pierzynski talk about it and a couple other people, how when you grip the bat, you can't grip it as tight, and it really decreases your power for even a little bit after you're healthy. Like even after you've recovered from it, we might not see him at his full form until June.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was what was wrong with half of our lineup last year. Moving on, Colin Selby also is injured. He's on a 60-day IL. And this is a guy that a lot of you, if you're a big Orioles fan, you know him. If you're not, like, you don't follow the Orioles all the time, he's kind of went over his head. But this is somebody that probably could have been a relief pitcher for us. And I mean, if you look at our bullpen, whenever you see a bullpen arm get hurt, that's worrisome because we have like 4 of them. And then good news on the injury front is Zach Eflin seems to be back. He's having a normal spring training this year. I'm really excited about that because I think he is going to be the signing that we forgot about. So like during the regular season, I think that's a bigger signing than people think it is. So we shall see. One more. I already talked about Jackson Holiday. So I mean, it's just, I feel like I should have a whole list of people that are injured. But it feels like it because we've only been there a week or so.
Yeah.
And 2 big names are hurt. So it's frustrating.
Well, I'm just waiting. Like, I'll move into our next segment. I'm going to talk about our rotation a little bit, but you keep talking about people that are going to get hurt. I just am waiting. We have a decent amount of starter depth right now, and I know that's not going to still be there by opening day. So it's going to be interesting to see who starts dropping like flies. But talk about our new signing, the new addition to the rotation. We got Chris Bassett. So we just brought in Chris Bassett on a 1-year, $18.5 million deal, $3 million signing bonus, some money for some incentives. I really do like this signing. I think of the available pitchers, he was one of the best ones. I kind of view this as an Zach Eflin type pitcher. Maybe potentially be a little bit better, but in skill somewhere around there. Yeah. Like if you were to look at his stats last year, it's not going to blow you away, but 3.96 ERA, started 32 games, 2.1 WAR. I mean, these are good enough stats for, he's going to start every day, every 5th day, every 6th day, whatever type of rotation we set up, he's going to start. He's going to be just as consistent as Dean Kramer. It is starts. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, don't compare him to Dean Kramer.
You guys hate Dean Kramer. You guys hate all Dean Kramer, all that you want. I'll hype.
If we ever had Dean Kramer on a podcast, Elijah,
it would have to be just me, man. No one else could be allowed either. Now, poor Dean Kramer.
Elijah, how many starts did he have last year?
32.
Is that what you just said? Yeah.
So
he would have led our staff in starts, and he was hurt at the end of the season. So he got hurt at the end of innings. Yeah, he got hurt at the end of the season, and that's why he kind of went into the bullpen in the Blue Jays playoff run.
I mean, he pitched in the World Series.
I know, but he didn't start. But he came out.
No, I know.
And
it wasn't.
the
World Series, you get 3 starters anyway.
Yeah. he didn't come out of the bullpen because of because he wasn't good, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, if he would have came in and he would have had except for Trevor Rogers, he would have had the best ERA on our team. So basically, he is taking Tomohiko Sagano's spot in the rotation, in my opinion. And I know that's what I'm going to.
Yeah.
And he had a 4.64 ERA. And just, yeah, I mean,
speaking of Sugano, guys, if you could pray for him, he's going to need all the help we can get. I don't know why his agent let him sign the Colorado Rockies, but he's going to give up 5 bajillion home runs this year.
Oh my gosh.
He already gave up like the most home runs in baseball last year. It's just soft contact. They're going to hit the ball 5 million feet off. I feel so bad. He's going to start every game, though. He's going to go out there every 5th day.
More about Chris Bassett, though. So his career stats, he's an 83 and 65 record. ERA over lifetime is 3.64. So the biggest thing that I love about him is his innings pitch. He's pitched over 1,200 innings in his career. He's an all-star in 2021, and he was the AL wins leader in 23. The biggest thing that when you look up cool things about him is he has an 8-pitch arsenal. So that's pretty crazy. I'm sure that he has 3 main pitches, how they all say. I remember when they would bring pitchers from Japan over and they would have 8 to 10 pitches, but really there's 3 of them. So we'll find out what he has.
It starts getting interesting when you have too many pitches for MLB The Show that they just start adding random buttons in to figure out the 3 pitch.
So if you want to know more about the Chris Bassett signing and all of this information, we have an article on our website. You can check that out. We have a fun segment. I want Greg's going to take over. If everybody, I'm just going to give Greg a good introduction here because Greg is on our podcast quite often. And Greg is the one that brings Orioles fans down and their hopes down, makes you feel sad.
Makes Dean Kramer cry.
Yeah. So if you want to... Greg is a Cubs fan, so he's had a sad life for 100 years.
One good season.
So so if you look at Greg and you say, well, as an Orioles fan, I may never see them win a World Series. Well, maybe when you're like Greg and you're 67 years old, that's when you might see them win their first.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
All right. So, Greg, Greg's gonna go over what Orioles moves that you liked right during the off season, and what should they have done, in your opinion?
I love the Pete Alonso signing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think you have to start there. It gives them a real, legit power guy that the opposing team has to respect. So it's going to change how they're pitched to in the 3-4-5 order. I love that signing. I think it's going to make Ward better. It's going to make Henderson better. So there, that's a real good one. I like the fact that, well, there's 2 quick ones. Bassett was good. I like that they kept one under the radar one is Suarez. They kept Suarez. So that's pitching depth. That's bullpen depth. And a lot of people, you might not recognize that, but that's good. For the one that I wish they would have made, I really would love to see them get a high on base percentage guy. Outfielder, center. I'd love to see them get a true center field because I don't think Kowser is. I know they have a lot. I like the Bradfield Jr. guy, but I think he maybe be a year away. But I don't know. I just, it's really not pitching for me. I think if the lineup is consistent and can get on base more with the order of the 3, 4, 5, 6, you're talking about a lot of guys with a lot of pop. And if you look at them last year, they just didn't score runs.
Yeah.
I mean, I know injuries, but you get Westberg healthy and you have that lineup, you got to be able to put runs on the board. And the year before when they had Santander before he left, I mean, they scored a lot of runs. That's what their thing was. Their pitching was solid, but it was the runs they put on the board. I just think a high on base guy to put at the top of the order can make such a big difference for this team. I want them to get back to stealing bases. I mean, everybody else is stealing bases in baseball. They need to, 2 years ago, that's what they did. Last year, it was like we were waiting for a 3-run homer and nobody hit one. So that's what Pete Alonso is gives them legit guy that you have to watch to how you pitch. But I would have loved to seen them get an outfielder, not necessarily an outfielder, a center fielder, high on base guy.
Yeah, that's a great point. I really thought you were going to go pitching, but I 100% agree with you because I think that was an overlooked aspect of last season. Last season, the Orioles were ranked 23rd in the league in runs scored. So, and the problem with that is there is no way if we would have went to March to this time of last year and thought that our offense was going to be the issue. You know what I mean? So coming out of 2024, you were just like, how many home runs can Gunnar hit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adley's going to bounce back. O'Neill just hit almost 40 bombs with the Red Sox. Now he's on our team. It was just one of those things where if you would have told me O'Hearn would be our best hitter, I would be like, either he's going to have the best year ever, which he did, but or our team is just going to struggle.
The problem would have been when you said that Ramon Laureano was our third best hitter.
You're right.
That's really the problem.
That's a better one. Yeah. So, and then it was just the other issue I have with their offense is Jordan Westburg, Jackson Holliday, and Gunnar Henderson all tied with home runs with 17. Okay. The issue I have with that is the amount of games played, the differential, right? Jordan Westbrook shouldn't have even been near that because he played, 30 some less games? It's just, it's insane to me. Yeah, Jordan Westbrook played 85 games. Gunnar Henderson played 154, and they finished with the same amount of home runs. Jackson Holliday played 149. So, I don't know, man. So, I still have high hopes. I'm not saying anything about Gunnar Henderson. A lot has come out since last year. Usually whenever they have a down year, they always tell you they're hurt. And normally they're right. I'm not dogging that. So normally what I mean by that is normally there's a reason, So I'm excited. A couple of things I'm excited on the offensive side, just to go off of what Brad was saying, is I think we are forgetting that we have Pete Alonso. Like, I know I am. I was so upset we didn't get a pitcher that I see Pete Alonso on the Orioles Instagram page because that's all they got to put out there, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. He is our dude, right? So, and then I am excited about Taylor Ward. Our offense has been a massive upgrade. Whenever you look at like the offseason grades, I always think that we're going to be a C like we always are. And everybody grades us like an A, which, I guess just because I just knew we were getting a starter this year, and I got my hopes up, and like every year, we didn't. I know we got Chris Bassett. I get that, but that's not what I mean. If you an Orioles
but we
fan,
got
you know
Bass.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what, Elijah? He might be legit.
Shane Bass.
He might be legit.
Shane Bass could be just as good as what Grayson Rodriguez could have been.
Yeah. Like, so here's my question. Here's a serious question: is on Orioles trades for pitchers, how many times has Elias been wrong?
For us getting pitchers or giving
the people we get? The people get. How often has he been wrong about a pitcher?
Well, okay.
We can go to starter if that makes it easier.
Yeah. So if we look at
this, is also
the
just
first thing that comes right. Rogers. I don't think you consider that a loss because our outfield's pretty full as it is, especially with Ward, Beavers, Cowser. Stowers wasn't playing center field anyway, so I think he'd be that a wash, honestly.
He'd be in the same place that Mayo's in right now.
Yeah, and you look at it, and Rogers is more valuable to us than what Stowers was last year to the Marlins.
Yep, absolutely.
And then you look at some of the other. It's hard to grade out some of the prospects he's given up. Because that's really the only near MLB. Like, you look at it, the Corbin Burns trade, that was a win for us.
Absolutely.
And
we thought it wasn't. We thought we gave up.
Joey Ortiz hasn't done much. I mean, and then you look at it, like I have a feeling 6 years from now, this Shane Bash trade is going to be a loss for us.
Maybe.
I'm okay with the Taylor Ward trade. I really am, because Taylor Ward, just like Pete Alonso, we know what they're going to provide. They are proven bats. Gunnar Henderson could do this or could do that next year. We kind of know what Ward's going to do. We know what Alonso's going to do, and you want those proven bats.
Yeah.
And Grayson, who knows what Grayson is going to do?
Yeah. All I know is I am fully, and Greg knows this more than anybody, I feel like, because with the Cubs, you've kind of seen this already. You've seen this wave that's happened, and we're right at we're somewhere in it. We're either on one side of the wave going up or on one side of the wave falling down. But anyway, I'm just so done holding on to our prospects because we're getting screwed. We're getting screwed by the prospects because our prospects are turning into really good AAA players. And that's it. That's it, and I'm just ready. Like, I would have been the first person to tell you to not trade Kobe Mayo. And now I'm like, dag on it. Like, can you imagine? Because these kids still look good.
I bag of Lay's chips for Kobe Mayo.
I think the Orioles, though, are in a good position. I'll give you 2 reasons. One, they just didn't spend $40 million a year for an out of shape Valdez.
Those photos look rough.
3 years.
I was the one saying that. I don't want him.
I mean, yeah, on the right deal, you want him. He's very effective, but $40 million would have really prevented them from doing more. And 2, they still have everybody. Yes, they gave up. They gave up quite a bit for Shane, but if you look at them, name one pitcher out there this offseason besides Valdez that you were excited about. Like, we need to go after him.
Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, but Suarez,
he got overpaid as well. Oh, he got paid way too much too.
And
absolutely.
he did get overpaid, but he's also a guy that I think is on the backside of his career.
It was a weak starting pitcher free agency.
So the Orioles still have a lot there that they can move to get somebody. Yeah. I think it's not even their starter issues with them. It's going to come into what they can manufacture out of their bullpen. Yeah. I think that's where the question's going to be for them. I mean, I think the Orioles are in a decent position. Now, I'll be the first to say I get frustrated with Elias every year because I think he has the ammo to go get somebody. But he did take a big swing. When he brought in Burns, it was a massive swing and it worked.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to stay in the Orioles. He wanted to go to Arizona, and look, he blew out his arm. So what set the Cubs over the top when they were able to win the World Series is all their players came up at the right time together. They were young. That's what the Orioles have. The only thing you're hoping Rogers is your John Lester.
Yeah.
Because Lester was the key that kind of galvanized the team. He stabilized the pitching staff. And I think Alonso is going to be your Jason Hayward, hopefully a better player, but a veteran in the locker room that can, hey, this is what we need to do. And I thought last year when they lost Santander, I thought they lost that veteran in that whole locker room, that whole mix. Listen, do I think the Orioles are in the toughest division in baseball? It's going to be extremely tough for them. But they do have pieces they can still trade. You got Mayo, you got Mountcastle. And Mountcastle, surprisingly, can be very valuable to the right team if he's healthy. You still have Beavers. You have guys that you can move if you need to. But I wouldn't be so negative on not getting the pitching. Because I like the Bassett. I mean, he's going to just to go back to it, he's going to give you 30 starts.
Yeah.
And I know we made fun of Dean Kramer, but Kramer was a guy that you knew you were getting 5 innings from. 4 runs, 5 innings. That was going to be his thing. You knew it, but he showed up every day.
And if the offense is like we expect it should, that's not a problem. If you're scoring 1 or 2 runs a game, that's a problem.
It's a major issue. Yeah.
Really, what I think we just need to do is we have enough pieces. Let's just go trade for Scooble and Skeens and call it a day.
Yeah.
And then re-sign both of them.
Well,
We'll give them the keys to the city.
Let me ask you about that. In all honesty, you think about it. Now, the Tigers went out and got Valdez, so they went all in.
Yeah,
they just spent $40 million and wouldn't give $32 million to Scooble,
to the best or second best pitcher on the planet.
That makes no sense.
Not at all.
But you think about the Skeens thing. You have a guy that you could go out, you give up the farm for, you pay him $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I don't think it would ever happen.
I would give up the Bowie Bay Sox for Paul Skeens. The entire team.
Yeah.
I mean, but you think of the Scooble deal. I mean, Scooble may be available at the All-Star break if the Tigers happen to slump. But what would you give up to get a number 1 pitcher just for the rest of the season and to win a World Series?
Yeah. Anything, right?
Literally,
anything.
Literally, I would give up all of our every single one, from the Tide to the Shorebirds to the Bay Sox, just all of them. And that's
it's crazy.
Look, they can have the Ravens too. I don't care about
that. Yeah, I don't care about
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
that would be a heck of a trade because the Steelers and the Ravens hate each other.
Yeah,
that would be.
No, that's like if Scooble. Obviously, it depends. If we're not, if we're below 500 at the All-Star break, I don't think it'd be worth selling the farm for someone like that, unless you know that you could re-sign him. I mean, say we go into next offseason right before the lockout, and you say, Scooble, hey, we'll sign you right now. You'll get a 4 years contract during this lockout still, and see if that can win him over.
You better ask him to defer money like the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll be paying until his grandkids are dead.
Yeah. All I know is we need to be really careful on contracts before the lockout because I know how that went with Chris Bryant, and that got sketchy. This still hasn't worked out. My man's still hurt. And you speaking of Santander that you talked about, he's also injured again.
Mm-hmm. He'll be out. I think it was 4 to 5 months or something like that.
Man, it stinks because he's such a good person, and I do dislike the Blue Jays a lot. But I don't dislike Anthony Santander. But so everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on another episode here on the Utah Street Banter podcast. Remember, like I said before, please follow us we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please give us a like and a subscribe on that and help us keep climbing the ranks through all that good stuff. Remember, you can go to our website on utahstreetbanter.com. You can click the little button on the side and send us a little chat button if you have any ideas. You can also email us if you want to at utahstreetbanter@gmail.com. Remember, we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. We're on all of it. So if you want to keep track or watch our little short videos of this podcast, check it out and have some fun. And thank you guys so much. Greg, Elijah, thanks for joining once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will see you all next time here on the Utah Street Banter podcast. Have a great day.
See ya.
See ya.